Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another weekly setups. I'm going to be analyzing over 20 pairs using the fxalexg set and forget strategy, and let me show you what we have for this week. By the way, remember to subscribe to the channel, it's absolutely free. And let's get into the pairs for the week. So the very first pair for the week, we have CADJPY. On the daily time frame, we just shifted bearish. Right, we shifted bearish. We have been bullish, and then we just shifted bearish. We have a clean area of interest. As you can see right here, we have multiple rejection from here, 2, 3, and 4 rejections from this area of interest. Right, usually we wait for a retracement back into the area of interest to sell. So let's see what the 4 hour is telling us. So the 4 hour time frame, we also have the time frame is bearish. Right, so we have market has stalled here for quite a number of time. EMA that have been bullish is now looking like it's going to turn bearish, and then we'll be looking to take the trade short. But on the 1 hour time frame, where we are supposed to enter this trade does not look realistic, because if you look at this high where we are supposed to put our stop loss, right? If you come closer, right, if you get that retracement, and then we enter at the engulfing at the high where we are supposed to put our stop loss, is making this trade unrealistic because it's going to be too far. So let me explain what I'm saying. Let me explain it better, right? So if you look right here, which is our take profit target, 1:2, right? If you look right here and I move over to the left, this was where price action was last time. So if I decide to measure from here, which is our take profit, which is supposed to be our take profit target, to all the way here, which is supposed to be where our entry is supposed to be, that took price action about 14 days to get to that area, right? It took price action about 14 days, and that's why I say it doesn't look realistic, because holding trades for 14 days is too much, right? I hold trades for about 2 to 3 to 4 days to up to 7 days. I think I've held trade for 7 days before, but usually around 3 days to trade. So what I'll now be looking for on this pair is for price to get back into the area of interest right here, have a shift of structure like this, and a retracement and engulfing for us to take this trade to the downside, which will mean that our stop loss will not have to be all the way up here. So if you enter the engulfing around here, our stop loss is just going to be somewhere around here, for example, and then we'll target 1:2 risk to reward ratio trade. That is going to just be something like this, right? This is a way more realistic price action for me, right? Same thing with CADJPY. We also have the same price reaching bearish. 4 hour time frame is also bearish. We need a retracement, and then on the 1 hour time frame, we'll have that shift of structure and an engulfing to enter, just like CADJPY. So the third pair I'm willing to take this week is AUDCHF, right? So AUDCHF, if you didn't watch last week's recap, we lost on AUDCHF and we won on CADJPY and GBPJPY. So we had 2 wins and 1 loss on those trades, right? So AUDCHF, I'm still willing to take it again for this week. We are looking to buy last week, but this week we are looking to sell because market has switched bearish. So we have this area of interest right here on the daily time frame. As you can see, we came to this area of interest, rejected up strongly, came to this area of interest, rejected up strongly. Now we are below area of interest, rejected down strongly 3 times, right? So the time frame right here is actually bullish on the daily. It actually still looks bullish on the daily, right? Because of this higher high right here and higher low, right? But I'm willing to take sales just because it makes more sense. So let's look at how the 4 hour looks, right? So the 4 hour also is still bullish. The 4 hour is also still bullish. Wow. All right, so let's see what we have. If price is coming back into this area, I'll actually just be waiting for my sales here, just because of how market structure looks. So I'm not really judging the entire trade because of this price movement right here. I'm judging the trade based on this price movement around here. So the closest price action to me the better. So we have this left head, right shoulder. This is like the break, and then we wait for a retest for me to take the trade to the downside. Now this is a very risky trade because I just explained that two time frames of the higher time frame are actually bullish, right? But I'm still willing to sell this market actually, right? So I'll just wait for the 4 hour time frame to get back into around this area, and then I'll start looking on the 1 hour or 30 minutes for that engulfing or shift of structure and engulfing for us to take the trade to the downside, right? That is the third pair for the week. We have GBPNZD for next week. So GBPNZD looks the cleanest to me, and it looks like it's going to happen the soonest as well. So on the daily time frame, if you come over to the daily time frame, look at this daily time frame where we have price bearish. This is now the new lower low, and this is the lower high, and now we have that retracement back into this area for us to continue selling. Area of interest, we have clean area of interest, multiple rejection from area of interest. It's just not that clear, right? But we have at least one tap here, two, we have three tap here, and now we are having the fourth tap around here. So the 4 hour time frame is actually technically still bullish, right? It's actually still bullish. And then on the 1 hour time frame, we are actually bearish right now. So this is price bullish, right? As soon as we close below this low, we became bearish. Then as soon as we close above this high again, right here, we became bullish, right? And then we broke below, we retraced, and we have this engulfing. But this market structure right here is not as clean too as well, right? So what I'll simply just be looking for is for price to break and retest below this area for me to take the trade to the downside. Why is that? Because this area too is also a strong resistance or support area. Price came here, rejected down strongly here, rejected down here, and now is above, is rejecting up too as well. So if you get that break and retest below, I'll be interested in taking this trade to the downside. That is that for GBPNZD. GBPUSD is another pair for the week. This pair actually looks cleaner on the daily time frame. As you can see, we have a left head, right shoulder. This is the break. We are hoping for a retracement back into this area for us to take the sales to the downside. Other time frames are not really going to give us the price data we need to take this trade to the downside, just because price still have a long way to get to this area of interest. So this week market is really going to be very slow. It's going to be very slow because price has to get to area of interest first before we can even pay attention to the market, right? So that's pretty much it for GBP USD, right? Because price is going to have to get to area of interest before we can know what's next to do. This also has a similar price action with Euro USD, right? So now Euro USD is at area of interest, right? GBP USD has to get to area of interest, right? So only one of these pairs can actually give us the opportunity to sell this week, right? But this time frame is bearish, right? This time frame is currently bearish, daily time frame. So on Euro USD, we're actually just working with the daily time frame and the 1 hour time frame, right? Because 1 hour time frame will now have to shift structure for us to take the trade to the downside. But 4 hour time frame on Euro USD is actually currently bullish right now, right? So that is Euro USD. We also have other pairs like NZDUSD. So what I'm looking to see on NZDUSD, as you can see, we have a left head, right shoulder right here. So we have this left, we have this left, we have the head, and we have the right shoulder right here. So now that we're below area of interest, they also have multiple touches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? We'll also be looking to take sales on this market. So let's see how the 4 hour looks. The 4 hour is also currently still bearish. It's still bearish, but you see that this candle is a strong engulfing candle that engulfed multiple hours of price action. So I don't like that, but I'm still willing to take the trade to the downside. So what I'll simply be expecting on this market is for price to create a new high in order to break above this high to make market bullish, right? And then shift the structure and then an engulfing for us to take the trade to the downside. Because if we are waiting for a shift of structure right now, it means price is going to have to break below this low and then have the retest. But if we break below this low, price is already way too far from area of interest. So that's why we need a break above this high again and then a shift of structure for us to take the trade to the downside. So that's how I'm willing to play NZDUSD, AUDCAD. We just simply have not had that break and retest above this area of interest right here, right? So we just haven't gotten that break and retest above here. So it might not happen this week, but we're just paying attention and putting it in a watch list for this week. The last pair for the week we have is GBPCHF. Now, GBPCHF, well, is a very controversial one. Now, let's just go to the 4-hour time frame because that's the time frame we're really going to be working with. So, if you look on the 4-hour time frame, we have this left head, right shoulder right here. So, we have left head and we have right shoulder. On a normal day, we usually just wait for a retest back into this area for us to continue selling, and we'll take the trade in line with the higher time frames and the 1-hour time frame, right? But if you look on the daily time frame right here, you can see that yes, the price action is actually bearish. But the last time the price got to this area, that was in April 2025. And if I look left, one thing that I notice is that price has come to this area multiple times. Here in September 2022, here in January 2024, and here in April 2025. So each time that price has gotten to this area, price has rejected up very strongly. It came to this area, it has rejected up very strongly, and the same thing here. So us selling at the bottom of the market has a very high chance of rejecting up strongly. So us looking for sales is very risky here on AUDCHF, but we are still going to be following the exact same game plan and still sell this market. But price is going to have to come back into this area of interest, give us an engulfing or a shift of structure and an engulfing on the 1-hour time frame for us to even be interested in this market. So we're going to be very careful on this market. I'm going to be paying keen attention to AUDCHF and GBPNZD this week because they are going to be happening the fastest this week. That's pretty much it for the week, guys. I'll see you guys in the next video.